Hi guys, my name's Ellie, welcome to my channel, and we are on day 5 of the advent calendar. You're finally seeing what I've been pairing a lot of the looks with. This is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. I have worn it once, and I want some looks with this. This is part of their holiday collection. It's really, really pretty. It's very fall and festive, hitting the marks, because you can do a lot of these warmer tones for like the fall looks, get into Christmas and, you know, other holidays. We celebrate Christmas. And you can start doing like the gold and the sparkly spiked eggnog and just like have a lot of really nice colors. So far, my usage of this, I have noticed the formula is closest to the chocolate gold bar. So if you liked the chocolate gold palette from Too Faced, you will probably like the formula for these mattes and shimmers. I haven't played with Oh Snap yet, or Frostbite Me, which are the two ones that people have complained about, but we'll get to them. So, I'm going to do some looks with this palette. I will be back at the end of the week with how I feel, which is probably, hopefully, still pretty optimistic and happy with it. So, first look, this is Looking at My Cookie with gingerbread latte in the crease and a little bit of darkness. And then I'd have Ooh Burn into Spice of Life on the lid with a little bit of spiked eggnog on the inner corner. Kapow! I like it quite a bit. Look number 2. So I have a combination of Looking at My Cookie and Gumdrop in the crease with Figgy Pudding on the outer corner end to deepen. And then on the actual lid I have Ooh Burn on the outer half, and then a combination of Warm and Toasty and spiked eggnog on the inner half. And then I have spiked eggnog just on the inner corner. So, used a lot of colors. I really like it. So, very quick look. I have gingerbread latte in the crease. I have hot toddy on the lid, which is very pretty. And spiked eggnog on the inner corner. I like it. I like it a lot. For this look, I had several setbacks, but it finally is on my face. I started with gingerbread latte in the crease and under my eye. I warmed it up with Spice is Nice, and then deepened a little bit with gingerbread, which was fine. I tried to put spiced rum on the lid. I didn't like it. I will talk more about that once we do the wrap-up. So I ended up going over it with Bake It Till You Make It, which is really, really nice. I was playing with a more pointed out shape, which kind of worked, kind of didn't. And then I took Frostbite Me on the inner corner and kind of a little bit onto the inner third of the lid just to lighten it up. And I don't know if you can even tell. It's quite nice on the inner corner, and I could see how I might want to use it other ways. So, I wore it for a week. I have opinions. Here's the wrap-up of this mini review of the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. I like it. I don't love it as much as the start of the week. Things I noticed, spiked eggnog is a really nice shadow. I think I have, you can't see it, too reflective, but I do have a little dip going in spiked eggnog just from using it on my inner corner, so that might go pretty quickly. I know in the past for stuff like the original chocolate bar, they've made the highlighting shade much larger to compensate, and they did not do that, and I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I have some things that I feel like are a little redundant. Gingerbread. It's a very pretty color, but I found out today when playing with my eyeshadows that gingerbread is the exact same color as gingerbread latte and Spice is Nice mixed together. So if you mix these two together, you get exactly that shade. So it's a little unnecessary, and I could see it being something. I don't even know really why you would need that, because you do have that orange there, and if you play with things, you layer stuff, you know you can get that type of a warm brown without being strong orange. You can do that. Looking at My Cookie, I used more than I was expecting. It's a nice way to soften and build up some of the other shades. Which makes me wonder why we have Sugar Daddy, again with the super similar shades. I just don't think that you need this one as well. If you want this as the base shade, then it's too close to that as a transition shade. I don't know. Kind of unnecessary, could have been something else. Frostbite is quite nice. It's on my inner corner, and I feel like it's a lot more pink toned than spiked eggnog is, so that for me differentiates them enough, especially when you have like the oranges and the golds and the greens, as well as like the purples and the pinks. Having two different toned highlighting shades is nice and helpful. I think you could get away with using spiked eggnog, but having Frostbite Me adds a little something extra. You might not be able to see. There is a slight dip from when I was using Uburn. I use that a lot. Very much on the outer corner. Pretty shade. Gorgeous. Hot Toddy is gorgeous and pretty unique. It's not 100% unique, but it is quite unique. Hold on. There's a baby. And baby has been taken downstairs because there's a door. Literally, I can touch it. That leads into the room that they tend to put them down to sleep in. So, baby's going downstairs. But let's get back to where I was. Hot Toddy. It is unique and it is going to be a draw for a lot of people because most people don't have shades like this in their collection. I have a couple similar shades, not quite this glittery formula, but similar. So it's very pretty. I like this. I didn't have to use any additional bases to keep it on my lid or opaque. It didn't crease. That was really nice. Other things I didn't really touch because I liked Warm and Toasty. It was gorgeous. Most of these are fantastic. Spiked Rum I tried to use today. It took a lot to show up on my lid. Most of it was falling down my cheek, so this either needs like a really sticky base. You can go the route of like the Urban Decay Primer Potion because those do have a lot of grip, or something like a glitter glue, or be prepared to wipe a ton of fallout off and really pack it up. Like if I use this as a daily shade, this would be gone so fast because of how much product didn't stay on my lid. But like if you put the primer underneath, throw this on there, run this in the crease, it'd be a fine look. It just wasn't what I was going for today, which is why I ended up going over it with Bake It Till You Make It. So that's quite nice. Oh Snap is a strange shade. I haven't used it because I know how I would use it, and I didn't have time. I have work and other things, and sometimes the sleep is more important to me than putting the makeup on my face. But I also have a schedule for getting these done so I can process them and get them up for you guys. So, this is a matte shadow with scattered glitter in it. Let's just, maybe you can see there. So, the way I would suggest using these, and the way I would use these, is either, so you can see when it ends up on the skin, it drops most, if not all, of the glitter. So you can run that in your crease like a transition shade and just wipe the glitter that falls down on your cheeks away with your powder. You'll be fine. Or, if you want to do a multi-dimensional type look that's really simple, put your primer down, put a glitter glue like just on your mobile lid, put that shade over top, and then blend out the edges that don't have that glitter glue with the shade as well, so you get what's in the pan with like the shimmer and the sheen, and it looks nice, but then you get that matte blend out. That is the way I would suggest using that, and that is the way I would use that shade, just because it's the only way I've made them work. Something about the formula of a scattered glitter suspended in a matte shadow just means that the glitter doesn't grab at the primer, since that matte shadow is generally more finely milled and really light and floof. It's going to stick to the primer before the glitter has a chance to grip down, unless you use something particularly grippy, like a glitter glue, to make sure that both components of that shadow grip down. So, that's it. My end result is I do really like this palette. I'm glad I have it in my collection. I think this is going to be great for like Thanksgiving looks. You can definitely amp it up with these really pigmented metallics. You can definitely get away with a really pretty, sparkly, special look for stuff like holidays, and I think like Hot Toddy would definitely be something I would work into a Christmas look, because that's what my family celebrates. But if you wanted to wear it to a different holiday party, stuff like that, it is something that is just throw it on your lid, blend out the crease, and you look really unique and purposeful, but also you don't have to spend like hours and hours doing all sorts of strange stuff with specific things. You can make something that looks special and like party appropriate and holiday without being extremely tedious to put together. So, I like this. I like it a lot. I'm glad I have it. I would suggest it, but just not as strongly as previously opinions. I think if you are missing warm tones, or if you want something just a little different, a little deeper, this is a little deeper than some of the warm tone palettes we've been getting. I think having the purples and stuff like that in it is a good choice. I like this palette quite a bit, and you hopefully liked my looks, so happy Advent. Let's go on to the next day. I'll see you then.